Synced up fire vocally from the red side. Harimoto definitely the more vocal of the two players, but they seem to be sharing the emotions now. Had a chance to ride in with these players on the bus today. Jin Ueda not getting quite as much experience on the World Tour. Fishing shot comes down, the lob maybe just a bit long. Ueda not getting as much experience, he said. Of course, the program is investing a lot in the younger players from Koki Niwa, Maharu Yoshimura, Yuya Oshima, all the way down to Tomokazu Harimoto. There's that forehand loop. KIZUKURI for the last, I'd say, 6 months has been playing quite well. In Korea, he definitely showed some very big performance and improvements, I'd say, in the under-21 category and in men's singles. Now, Maharu Yoshimura seems to be a key ingredient for the Japanese doubles pairs. When he's involved, the pair does quite well, whether it's Koki Niwa and him, or Kasumi Ishikawa, again a world champion in mixed doubles, Maharu Yoshimura. Japan having a lot of great news in Germany. And ever since, actually, it's been some time now, Japan's been on the up and up. And while there were several no-shows and walkovers in the men's singles, there's Yu Harimoto there, father of Tomokazu Harimoto and coach. In the men's doubles event, Tomokazu Harimoto and Yuto KIZUKURI earned their place here, beating the top seeds. There was no default involved. Now, while Maharu Yoshimura is the younger of the players on his team, he is a father recently, has a young daughter at home. He also has very vicious serves. And look at this, hit completely into the umpire booth. This ball catches the edge of the racket and the fans love it. A lot of backsman makes the ball come back over the net. And a lot of people who are a little newer to table tennis aren't familiar with this rule. You are allowed to cross the net. You're allowed to end up on the other side of the table. Wherever you have to be to hit the ball and keep it in play, it's the responsibility of each team to hit the opponent's side of the table. So it's a good thing for KIZUKURI and Harimoto that KIZUKURI watched that ball come all the way down. Points is never over. At this level, you really have to stay in there for every shot. Yesterday, that was an issue on a few occasions for Harimoto versus Timo Boll. Hit a few big shots, thought he had won the point. In a tight game, the business end of game one, a service error for Jin Ueda. Look at this shot from jammed in the backhand corner with a player right in front of him, still manages to play a deep forehand cross court. Beautiful Chiquita from over the table, a little bit of side spin on it from KIZUKURI to make it jump out into the elbow of Yoshimura. We talk a lot about in Japan how there are many table tennis families, a lot of siblings playing. Yoshimura, Maharu Yoshimura's younger brother, Kazuhiro, quite impressive as well. Again, the crowd making some noise, curious what's happening around. We'll definitely keep you posted of any newsworthy events here. Game point saved by the young pair. Deuce here in game one. The forehand of Yuto KIZUKURI has been improving drastically. Saw it 2 days ago in the doubles matches. And this one's just a little bit shorter, difficult ball to contact. The fact that he's so aggressive and looking for it, though, he was looking push at first and realized there's a chance here. I might be able to get this attack. This is necessary in doubles to be especially aggressive. And a forehand flip wide cross court takes it. Maharu Yoshimura and Jin UEDA 12-10 over Tomokazu Harimoto. And Yuto KIZUKURI will be back for game two coming up right after this. Coming back for game number two, Harimoto and KIZUKURI trailing to Maharu Yoshimura and Jin UEDA in blue at the top of the screen. Now the side of the table that's been more successful throughout this tournament is the side that the players in red are on right now. They have their back to the wind. And it is weird to describe it as wind. Again, air conditioning is quite common at the professional level to keep the hall cool enough. Make sure that the humidity is low. Ball isn't sliding from the rubber. Beautiful turn and rip, Jin UEDA right down the line. Heavy backspin on that ball, but well anticipated. UEDA watching for the little bit of side spin as well with the topspin. What a shot from Harimoto. Love to see that one again. Falls to the knees to make this shot. Coming into play way down in front, down on both knees. When have you ever seen that? It's a very rare opportunity, especially at this level of play, but he's right back up on his feet. Pops up like a martial artist. Inside out forehand, and it's a 2-point lead for Yoshimura and Jin UEDA. Now, one thing I will say about Maharu Yoshimura is he's quite limber. And while his backhands are not as consistent as maybe he'd hope, he is quite dangerous on the backhand side. He's very fast with the wrist. He's got the good wingspan. Attempted tomahawk chop block there from KIZUKURI. Jammed up into the backhand corner. Heavy underspin, half long. It's going to be difficult if it's on the shorter side of half long for Yoshimura to really lift that ball from out in front. Deep push into the body on the backhand side. Harimoto getting the point. Now, players are allowed to converse with each other between points, but if the umpire feels that it's taking too long or delaying the game, they will warn the players to play. Power on the forehand flip kill. Harimoto has this shot. He brought it out yesterday against Timo Boll in the start of the match. Look at the wrist. Comes in first with the racket head down in case he needs to push, then lifts the racket head to get over the ball and snaps through.
5-6.
Very peculiar. Not too often that we see Harimoto going slightly more passive, and you can see him immediately regretting that decision and saying, I should counterattack this ball. Soft touch from the pair in red, ties it back up. Second towel break of the game. Now again, for me, yesterday watching Harimoto play, got a bit soft when he was big in the lead. Was playing a bit less topspin, a little bit more of a blocking game. And even in the doubles where Yuto Kizukuri and Harimoto beat Fan Zhendong and Xu Xin, Harimoto was the more passive of the two players. Beautiful shot. Ueda turning the corner and playing the parallel shot down the line. Realizes this ball's coming off the table. Just enough to turn, get the feet in position, unload on the ball with the forehand. There's the power. Kizukuri's strength on that forehand. And the grunt is very much, it's far from a cho. It's a grunt full of energy to get into the ball. Kizukuri really powering up. You can see in the quads. Kizukuri's developed over recent years. I think I started watching him play when he was around 14 years old. And his game has definitely developed and become faster, stronger, and much smarter tactically on the table. Spinny opening backhand, parallel shot, tied back up. Again, it's a best of 5 match. The pair in red takes this game, it's tied up. If they don't, they're down as far as you could be before losing game-wise. Look at this surprise flip. Comes in with the racket face open. Looks like he's going to push the ball and then flips it like a pancake deep to the backhand side. Boom, spatula style. Definitely worthy of a high five. In the favor return, Harimoto doing quite a similar shot on the forehand flip. 2 game points for the young pair in red at the 3rd towel break. But notice the change of pattern. Kizukuri comes in with the racket face open just like the shot before, and instead of flipping, leaves it on the table short with a push. Now the serve to start for Kizukuri. Outstanding coverage from Ueda back in the middle court. Strong loops on both sides. Everybody's playing well through this point. Harimoto with the angle, Kizukuri with the leg sweep. Harimoto with the final shot has the opportunity. Loops it just long. One game point saved before, but the next game point used, and it's tied up 1 game of players. Yuto Kizukuri is one of 2 that you might have seen less of on the World Tour. He's beaten Quadri Aruna and Andre Gacina, so he's quite dangerous. 2 players who've been in the top 30 quite recently. That grunting shot where Kizukuri goes to the ground, he's putting all his effort in. Now this is one thing in doubles that can be very useful. You've got a little bit more time between shots. You're alternating so you can hit harder. Your recovery is just going to be getting out of position and back into position. Oh, point of the match, incredible shots on both sides, just beautiful performance. From the hooking forehands, the counter loops way off the table. Harimoto running through with the punching backhand and drills the ball deep on the table. That's the forward drive. That's the Harimoto that is so difficult for players around the world to compete with. And now on the backhand side as well, Kizukuri opening up wide cross court. The consistency. Look at this ball. He's moving the other way at first, has to get the shoulder down just to reach that backhand corner. little apology there from Jin Ueda. Not sure if it caught the back edge of the table. Funny jump on the ball for sure. Sneaks past Kizukuri. Perfect length from Ueda, right there again at the back of the table. From time to time, we've seen Kizukuri jammed up. Oh, this is the perfect view to see. Comes off the table, but not enough comfort room for Kizukuri to get the forward motion he wants, so he tries to brush up on the ball instead, which is very difficult to do with that racket angle and still keep the ball low to the net to keep it threatening. We can see a little bit of hesitation after those 2 points from Kizukuri, a little bit more passive here. It's going to create some trouble as it's going to allow the other team to get into the point earlier and run Kizukuri and Harimoto around the backcourt. Even though Kizukuri missed that shot, I think it's a better way to go than the last point. Flip to the middle from Harimoto to set up the attack, the follow-up attack from Kizukuri. Again, the forehand from mid-distance, still enough of a threat. The power he brings to the ball. And as Kizukuri starts to turn the corner, it invites Ueda to play it out to the forehand side, but the short side of the table is a lower percentage shot. Doesn't come down. Excellent Chiquita from Harimoto. Again, the bounce. Watch the jump on this ball. Looks like it's going to bend into Ueda more, into the body, but it stays wide to the forehand. Very unusual shot. Chop block from Yoshimura to save the point. Heavy side spin on this ball as it's played deep to the backhand. Now, typically that shot is the last resort when you're out of position. It really changes the timing, forcing Harimoto to play the ball from out in front and also read the spin on the ball, which is one of the most difficult things to do against a chop block, especially considering the variation of spin on it. Beautiful flip from Ueda. A little fun fact about Jin Ueda, in addition to being so strong against Yu Sung-min and Hao Shuai in 2012, in 2017, was the champion of the Japan Top 12, beating Maharu Yoshimura in the final and beating Jun Mizutani in the group stage. We hear about that in the Chinese Super League, a player who's maybe beaten Ma Long or beaten some of the top players in the world that you haven't heard of playing outside of China. But in Japan, similar situation. Way down the list, not representing the team on the World Tour. You've got some strong players competing with the best from Japan. Ueda and Yoshimura, a second serve here and a chance for a 2-point lead. Well played right into the middle. The higher ball. Yoshimura taking his time, playing for placement. Interesting there. A little surprised we didn't hear it continue or please play. Look at this angle. Harimoto from the back of the table takes it early and way wide. So fast, racket right up to the forehead. The fact that he keeps his form so well on a shot that goes so wide. In a rush, too. You'll see players sometimes sacrifice their technique a bit for speed of shot. Come across the chest or whatnot. So 2 game points for Maharu Yoshimura and Jin Ueda to go up 2-1. Third towel break of the game. Again, Yoshimura has played many different teams. He's been playing with Koki Niwa. And in doubles, whenever he's playing, it seems to be a strong performance. Just missing long. That ball was absolutely pounded down into the table after KIZUKURI lobs the ball to Yoshimura. Chop block, rather. Harimoto almost gets it back. We'll enjoy the highlights. We'll be back for game 4. Yoshimura looking to flip their way and loop their way into a 5th and deciding game. Again, the youth should have the advantage in near the table, where speed and reaction time is most important. Outstanding point once again. KIZUKURI with the racket head up, covering the middle of the body. Able to take the forehand and play hard. Watch this, close to the table. That shot right there almost knocks him off his feet. And a spinny ball from Harimoto to finish the point. Ooh, not too often we see that. Love to see what happened just there. Racket going way from, he's checking to see if the racket's broken. Watch one more time. The racket slips out of his hand as the ball goes past him. Trying to switch it up from forehand to backhand. Again, tapping on the head to hear the vibration, the sound of the blade. One quick way to know if the blade is cracked. Pretty rare to see that. I can tell you from personal experience at a tournament once, a racket left my hand, and it wasn't until 3 points later that I realized that the racket had actually cracked and had to pull out the spare. Service error, tough time right now, KIZUKURI and Harimoto. Again, they have to win this game. The more popular serve, we're seeing the shovel serve from around the outside of the ball. We've got a timeout with the 3-point differential for KIZUKURI and Harimoto. There's always conversation about mental maturity, especially when you're 13 years old in the game. You got 2 days left before Harimoto exits the world of 13 and becomes a 14-year-old. But he has a lot of experience on the world tour. And I think it's easy to discredit someone, but we really do have to credit Harimoto from playing through some of the world's strongest players, including Junmi Zutani and Vladimir Samsonov. And making quite a case against Timo Boll yesterday, being up 8-1 for a chance to be 2-2 and 5-1 for a chance to be 2-1. Life is long enough. Point right out of the timeout. I bring up the length of life simply to say that if you zoom out a little bit, the progress we see from Harimoto will continue to be on the up and up. Sometimes the losses we learn the most from. It also prepares us to deal with losses in the future and how to recover, how to bounce back. Beautiful backhand. Yoshimura very fluid and loose. When he gets the time, a slightly softer ball and he's in near the table, it's going to be very difficult to counter back. Shot like that, you just feel happy that KIZUKURI isn't injured and still has both of his ankles. Gets up on his left foot, lifts the right, and has to turn and try to take it later. Quick change of heart. So the touch game over the table, earning the point for the pair in red. 3-point differential now. Now I talk about the youth and the staminas. They should have the advantage over the table, but it's not like Jin Ueda and Maharu Yoshimura have even hit their peak physically. Both Yoshimura and Ueda still young enough. Table tennis players, especially for the top Asian countries, being the top countries in the world, Japan, Korea, and of course China. Usually peak sometime close to 27 years old, somewhere in that range. Back edge of the table on the flip to hang on to the lead by 2. Second towel break of the game, and the pair in blue still in the driver's seat. This one more time, flip, back edge, just clipping. It is interesting to see how the young players develop over their teen years, though. And this is pressure. Harimoto coming across the table for the backhand for the Chiquita. In a way that realizes he's going to have to make the serve especially tight. Keep it low to the net and short. Ball goes a little bit loose. KIZUKURI taking it a little bit late for the long push to the backhand corner. Well-placed serve, invites the forehand flip, goes long. We much more commonly see the forehand flip cross court. More difficult shot down the line, but if you can make it, it's deadly. This is the KIZUKURI we've seen throughout this event. Grunting, going to the ground, hitting the heavy loops from wherever he can on the court. And from the ankle scare a few points ago, it's the fact that he can change his mind so quickly to recognize an opportunity to attack and still make the shots. Agility, a key factor. We see the same thing from Yuya Oshima. Very dead flip right there from Ueda, floats past Harimoto. Little bit of topspin. Not quite as much. It's a difficult rhythm, difficult trajectory to counter. Beautiful opening backhand from KIZUKURI, and Harimoto there to punch through with the backhand, keep the pressure on. Very focused, still keeping a bit of topspin on the ball. We saw this yesterday with Harimoto, and even in his doubles against Xu Xin and Fan Zhendong, that he's able to play aggressively with the backhand without tucking the wrist as deep back behind. So it has a punch-like quality, but still snaps at the end to keep topspin on the ball. Oh, the forehand flip is solid, but it's well anticipated. Maharu Yoshimura is there to counter back for the winner. Championship point for Maharu Yoshimura and Jin Ueda. And ball left up a little bit too high. Jin Ueda's there to clean up and seal the deal. The champions for men's doubles of the 2017 China Open are Jin Ueda and Maharu Yoshimura. And what a performance over their teammates, Tomokazu Harimoto and Yuto KIZUKURI. You'll have a chance to see these Japanese players later at the awards ceremony on top of the podium. An excellent fight from both sides, but once again, Yoshimura, the key ingredient to double success right now. He's been involved in the majority of major doubles success for recent tournaments for Japan in the last few months. Stick around, we've got the women.